Hello and welcome to Charjr Ryuki's Reviews on Fire. Today's review is of the Meg, the Jason Statham movie. And I'm going to have to agree with Jason because I watched his interview and he was right. It's a 75-foot bowl of popcorn enjoying the movie. It's not a movie that just blows your mind, but it's a fun and entertaining movie. The comedy was right at the right moments, and the intense scenes, a little bit of a jump scares that happened every now and then, were okay and well done. But maybe it's because of the supposed cold temperatures within the movie where you first encounter the Meg, is why it looks flesh colored. It's supposed to be a great white, basically the it's supposed to be black. I mean, if you look at it above the water before it just comes up to the surface, it looks like it's supposed to. It looks like a great white. It's blending in. But when it gets to the surface, you could clearly see what it is. It's, yes, it's a giant shark. And this is me arguing about or complaining about the skin color, the tone of the color of the shark, because I expected it to be a lot darker than what it was. Um, Jason Statham's character witnessed something when he was on a nuclear sub trying to rescue uh, rescue people, and he rescued 11 people, but he left two of his best friends to die. He made an ultimate. He made a choice, and it's basically what it points out is one life, or in other words, two lives, more important than 11 lives. Now he would, if he had the time, and if there wasn't something attacking the nuclear sub, if there wasn't anything attacking, I'm pretty sure he would have went down and tried to get his friends. And that's something that haunted him for years later. But then his ex-wife becomes a part of this Mana One, and they go down to the Marina Trench and to basically see if it's true, see if it's the trench is actually deeper, and if you break through this area, if it's like a cloud or whatever it is. And they found out that it was just a cloud that they were able to go right through, and because of its cold temperature, and they were having so much, like, oh my god, this is beautiful, and then all of a sudden something hits the ship, and they're like, what is that? Their little rover deal was completely, just totally wrecked, and it hits the ship again, and they're like trying to report back and saying there's something down here about it, and so it gives them a choice. They decide to go get Jason Statham's character and bring him back, and they tell him that his ex-wife is in danger. So that was one of the main reasons why he chose to get back in the water again. And he his character is actually, he did pretty good with his character. I mean, he played it pretty well, and I liked how they had Seung's daughter, just, hey crazy, she's so cute, and how she just picks on Jason Statham's character, and how she likes him, and then eventually her mom likes him, and you could see this growth between them, where they're coming together, like they start becoming an item, and Mick, Jason Statham's character's friend, because for some reason I can't get the name off the top of my head, um, just immediately gives him crap, and then gives her crap, And it's like, well, I never asked. I know, but I'm telling you anyway because you're interested and you want to know. And he's just that one friend that's like you want to punch him for the stuff that he does, but then you're like, thank you, and yeah, we'll shake your hand, but we'll punch you in the face first. But it's just really funny. They added scenes that were funny at the right moments, and then they made sure, like, hey, this is still technically, you know, a dangerous situation. You know, it's suspenseful, and it's like, oh, you know, we might die and this and that. Toshi, whose character I believe is also, I remember him from somewhere else, and like several other movies I remember him from. One from a TV show at least. Toshi made when he went down to go save his when they first encounter the first Meg. Now, when it comes to these movies, when you see one giant monster, there's obviously going to be two. So you have to expect there's going to be a second one. And they thought, okay, we're just going to have to deal with one. And just one was a big enough problem. And they managed to take it down with an entire bottle of, like, drugs, an entire bottle of poison. And they managed to get this 75-foot shark hung up on their boat. And while they're all having fun and games, taking a picture, another Meg jumps out of the water, grabs a hold of the already dead Meg, and jumps on top of the boat. And then, as it pretty much wiggles off the boat back into the water, it drags the boat with it. So, and that's when Seung's father gets injured and he dies. And the doctor who called Jason Statham's character crazy because of the pressure believed, finally, he's like, I understood what you meant now. I was like, I see what you were talking about, so I'm sorry for that. He ended up dying just to keep them alive. So it's a risk. It's like, you make a choice. You're in this situation, you make a choice. Is one life more important than the rest of the group? Or be self centered and leave an entire group to die while you survive? That's something that you're going to have to live with, whether you could deal. And I think, in a way, they did this pretty well because they showed the amount of struggle Jason Statham's character had when he got back into the sub to save his ex-wife and her two co-pilots. And you could see that. You could see him struggling and all him remembering in his mind the situation that he was in before, and now he's going right back in the exact same situation. And it's just this movie. It's pretty good. It's a good popcorn movie. It doesn't blow your mind, and some things could have been done a little bit better than the others, than the other scenes, like the ending. The ending, lack for a better term, I guess, cliched, or is just a little bit of a downer. But they're like, okay, we're gonna put some missiles on these little submersibles, little subs, and we're just gonna try and blow them up. Well, they only managed to get one good hit. Wasn't good enough to actually kill it, but it was good enough to injure it and piss it off even more. And when it came to her daughter being being knocked into the water, or basically jumping in because idiot news people were being stupid and getting involved and ended up destroying themselves, causing pretty much the crew to jump into the water to save themselves at risk of being eaten by the Meg, the second Meg. And it's weird how some people just don't even see how big this thing is. If you got a 75-foot shark coming at your boat or through the ocean towards the beach, how can you not see something that huge coming at you? How can you not see it? They showed a scene where a woman was paddle boating and the shark went right underneath of her. You're telling me while you're looking down paddling, you don't see this 75-foot shark? How can you not? But yeah, the ending itself could have been better. Jason Statham's sub, his character's sub, was damaged because this shark was chasing him. He ended up going through this little cave on the bottom of the ocean, right there where he was, to try and escape it, and not get into be eaten. And the shark came through, which caused the damage to the side where the missile was. So it prevented the missile from being launched. And while everybody was gathered on his female interests in or should say his girlfriend's interests, her sub, they're like setting ducks because the shark had resurfaced and it's like coming right at them. So he's like, you know what? Evolution. I'm gonna make this bleed. I'm gonna make her bleed. And they're like, what? Wait, don't do it. And he's signing off. And he took that little Bluetooth communicator off, took that off, threw it down. He just went after the Meg. And they had like a chicken deal collide. And just shark, Jason Statham. Psych! And then, like, the broken part of the sub had an exposed metal. So almost like a knife, like a blade. Just right through the bottom of the shark's belly. And just cut it right open. Got real up close with it. Real deep enough to cause it to bleed. But in that moment where he's like, he can't see well because of the shark's blood, the shark managed to get hold of him. And while it was biting down to bite through that sub to get to him, he made a desperate choice. I mean, he's either going to drown or he's going to get eaten. Either way, he's most likely going to get eaten. So while the shark damaged enough of that protective glass for him to kick out of it, he got out of it, and the shark was still chewing on the sub. He went to the broken part of the ship, yanked out a piece of it, and started stabbing the shark, which caused it to react and like flail. And then he's like, well, there's the eye. It's the most vulnerable part on a shark, besides the gills. So he just took that and he stabbed the shark in the eye. And he did it one more time, or he just like stabbed it, held it there, hold it, and then just right there, and it looked like the shark just from the shock, I guess, from pain, like he just died right there. Just one shot to the eye from a piece of metal about like this, about 3 feet long, and he's looking, and the shark starts jerking to life like it's still alive, and then all of a sudden, hammerhead sharks, bull sharks, great whites, all these different sharks start coming out of nowhere, and they start attacking the Meg. So technically, the Meg, the big shark, the big boss on campus, is now dead. So now all the other sharks from around 15 foot could go and attack it. And the ending where they have a great white coming out of the mouth of the Meg is actually pretty good. They did leave like speculation that there might be a Meg 2, and that's all fine and all. Hopefully they do a little bit better job with this. I mean, it's technically PG-13, but yet technically on the suspenseful side, could be could be horror. So maybe if you go from this to another one, maybe kind of evolve it a little bit and become more of a horror because you got to have more scare than that, and you got to have a much better ending than that. But in my own opinion, I think the Meg at the most at least deserves a 7 out of 10. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you click subscribe to look forward for the next episodes and watch the stuff I did in the past. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.